You know what I haven't done in a while? An episode of Hot Takes. So you know what we're gonna do today? An episode of Hot Takes. Also, I got a new chair. It's really nice, but it's kind of short. Like, I've had to lower my desk and everything. I don't know if they thought this was for Jaren, but it's nice. It has been nearly a year to the day since the last Hot Takes episode, but since you guys are like a herd of freaking goats, when I went back into the Discord Hot Takes channel, it was still absolutely flourishing. I had quite a bit to choose from, you know, like, obviously, a whole year's worth of hot takes, but I picked out some of the best, funniest, weirdest takes for today's video. There's a lot more I picked out that didn't make it into this video, and I do plan to make another episode soon, hopefully within like less than a year from now. But if you have a hot take you want potentially featured in an upcoming episode, be sure to join the Discord server. There is a link down below in the description at all times of the day. There is some great country music discussion going on down there. I pop my head in every now and then, see what's going on. I have some potential video ideas that would be involved with the Discord server as well. So if you want to open those doors, if you want a chance to be a part of any future videos, whether that be hot takes or anything else I do, be sure to join that in the description. There's also a link to my Instagram. I do all sorts of questionnaires and stuff over there as well. So yeah, just hit those up, and without any further ado, let's do some hot takes. Starting off with a spicy one. A rock was a fluke in quality. Now, for context, this one was submitted a few months back before Hardy came storming back with Wait in the Truck and all the new stuff. Of course, it's easy to see what Hardy's doing now and say, well, this take aged like milk, this take sucks, it's so wrong, blah, 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 blah. But even when I first saw this take pop up a few months ago, I disagreed. Because I think to deem it a fluke, we're saying Hardy is incapable of making another album of that quality. This take was obviously in response to Hixtape 2 when that dropped, and trust me, nobody was more critical of Hixtape 2 than myself. I made a video about it that I got all sorts of flames for. But you know what? Hardy does crazy views, so like, yeah, I really despise that project. But I think Hixtape 2 is the result of a lack of effort, not a lack of ability. Hardy did not try on that project. They were clearly like throwaways or extras from different writing sessions and whatnot that Hardy decided to put out anyways. Furthermore, Hardy's presence on that project was significantly less than the first edition. So even while Hixtape 2 was rolling out, it's not that I didn't think Hardy could make another album as good as A Rock, I just wasn't sure if he would. At the time, I was sitting there like, maybe he just wants to play it safe. And I mean, now fast forward to today, nobody is playing it less safe than Hardy. And if these teasers are proof of anything, I think they show that Hardy's ceiling is significantly higher than most artists when he puts in the effort and taps into that potential. But simultaneously, there is a side to him that likes to keep everything lighthearted. And sure, while I could go without Hixtape 2 and other stuff in that vein, as long as I'm still getting that thought-provoking, innovative, deep-diving side of Hardy, I'm happy. So was A Rock a fluke in quality? I don't think so. I think if anything, Hixtape 2 was a fluke in effort, but that's an interesting discussion. Is there such thing as a fluke album? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Those are just my loose initial thoughts. Dylan Scott has the biggest gap between his voice and his output. His voice is genuinely excellent and his music is genuinely terrible. I don't think I could agree with this one more. I've always loved the deep, demanding tone of Dylan's voice, but then it just gets obliterated by vocal effects and overcorrection, and they slap him on some pitiful pop country beat that literally sounds like you went on YouTube and searched country type beat. It's a shame, but I really don't think Dylan has any ambition to leave his spot as this cemented radio darling. I'd love if he did try something new, but I just don't see it happening. Starcrossed is a better pop album than 1989. Hear me out. I don't disagree. While maybe there's an objective argument 1989 has more to offer than Starcrossed, that's almost why I find Starcrossed more enjoyable, because although 1989 might have more to offer, I don't really like what's being offered there. Whereas you pan over to Starcrossed, and my main complaint was that it just felt a little hollow. It's not bad, it's just completely inoffensive and out of the way. I'm not trying to portray 1989 as some dumpster fire of a record, because that's simply not the case. I mean, it's got Wildest Dreams, which is hands down one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. You know, maybe that would be a good top 10. Top 10 Taylor Swift songs? Would you guys want to see that? I mean, that in and of itself would almost be a hot takes video. I mean, there definitely won't be anything from Midnights on there. I still go back and forth with myself if I want to review Midnights, but I feel like its window of relevancy is quickly slipping out of my hands, especially with how anticlimactic that final record was. But Let me know what you guys want to see me talk about Taylor Swift thing in the comments below. I'm rambling. My problem with 1989 is pretty darn simple. I just don't like heavy pop-leaning Taylor Swift. Sure, there's bangers every now and then, like I said, Wildest Dreams. Style's a bit of a bop. But all things considered, I've never been a fan of like thumping club anthem pop Taylor. Whether that be 1989, Reputation, part of the reason I didn't like Midnights was because it gave me similar vibes to those albums. I will always prefer more instrumental Taylor like Folklore as well as her older country stuff, but to wrap this one up, Star-Crossed is a better album than 1989. I don't disagree. Unpopular opinion. American food is low-key the best type of food. We take food from other parts of the world and make it better. Chicago pizza is a good example, and nothing beats good barbecue. I'm sorry, but nothing screams I've never left the United States of America like this take. And what do you mean Chicago pizza is a good example? You literally took Italian food and put it on stilts. That ain't no American food. Sticking with the American takes, I'd rather watch a 1 out of 10 NFL game than a 10 out of 10 college game. I'll take a 1 out of 10 CFL game over both. Then, sticking with the football takes, Matt Corral, I don't know how to say that, is the best quarterback in the draft. I know this has nothing to do with music. Heck, I don't know a single thing about the NFL. The only reason I included this take is because someone responded to it saying, "You're an idiot." And there is so much wrong with that sentence grammatically that it just makes the insult that much better, so I had to include it. Matilda by Harry Styles should be pushed to country radio. No. And I love that song. I actually tried learning it on the guitar for a little while, but it's got such a whack tuning that I was just like, man, I really don't want to have to set this up every time I want to try and play the song. But I do love it. Fantastic song. However, just because a song is predominantly acoustic with a guitar and a vocal does not make it country. By that standard, you could pretty much send any Alec Benjamin song to country radio. Back in the day, before computers were introduced to music production, everyone had the same instruments, but that didn't mean they were all the same genre. There's something to be said about the lyrical focus of a song, the scene in which it is coming from, the emotions and style the artist is trying to get across through their music. Different voicings and rhythms and accents all come together to form the identity of a genre. It's not as simple as guitar ballad equals country song. Because then if you're going to allow electric guitar to also be considered country, then pretty much all of Giveon's music is country. Bro is not country. Those are my toxic boy anthems that make my Mazda 3 feel like a Rolls Royce as I rip around some no-name place with no money, but I feel like a CEO going home to the hills. I'll tell you that much. I just think today, with the idea of genre steadily phasing out, it's an interesting discussion, but something as simple as a song centered around a guitar does not make it qualify for country radio. We've already got enough cranky people losing their minds because they don't like the music that's on radio, but they refuse to go anywhere else for their music. Imagine the uproar if they heard Harry Styles on their local country and western channel. Parker McCollum's 3 albums combined are better than Jon Pardi, Luke Combs, and Midland's albums combined. Genuine question, right? What was the thought process that led you to this take? Like, what were you doing that made the light bulb go off and you were like, you know what? Parker McCollum's albums are better than Jon Pardi, Luke Combs, and Midland combined. But also, no. Some of these takes make me worry for you guys. I care about you guys, but I do get concerned when I see takes like, if the moon wasn't even a thing, Sunrise Tells the Story wouldn't be a song because there would be no sunrise. Huh? Or this one here. Re-listening to The Controversy, with the exception of Swayze, it's not a bad album at all. Like, are you good? Most of Morgan Wallen's fans are young, overprivileged females that think they have a chance with him. While there definitely is a fraction of validity to this take, I'm really only including it because I agreed with one of the dudes who responded saying, hey, it ain't just girls, I still got a chance with him, don't count me out just yet. And I felt that. And then lastly, I figured I should probably end on a legitimate take. I think Brett Young is actually good at boyfriend country, and sonically is an incredibly satisfying country artist to listen to. Mercy and In Case You Didn't Know are great songs, and Here Tonight has converted many of my friends to country. I've never fully understood the barrage of hate that is tossed Brett's way every time bro does anything. Take his last album, for example. Weekends look a little different these days. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I thought it was a really standard, mediocre pop country album with some good songs, some bad songs. I actually still love The Closer, You Didn't. Overall, just a really standard mainstream pop country album. But you guys were rebuking this album. Y'all hated it. Talking about it like it was the worst thing to ever happen to the earth. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, it's not great. But he's not doing anything different than the next man, and I don't see you guys calling these other boyfriend country dudes poison to the country music lineage. I just think since Brett has like separated himself as the most successful, recognizable face of boyfriend country, he naturally became the scapegoat for boyfriend and general pop country haters. Like, all their pent-up anger about the current state of radio and whatever they feel about it gets let out on Brett. Again, I'm not trying to say he's this like criminally underrated, phenomenal artist you guys are sleeping on, give him a chance. What I'm saying is, what's the difference between Brett and the next guy? But back to the take, I also think there is something to be said about Brett and Boyfriend Country acting as a gateway for new fans into country music. If you have someone who exclusively listens to pop or R&B music, and you want to try to convert them to country, shoving Colter Wall down their throat right from the get-go might not be the play. You gotta ease your way in. There's a girl I know who hated country music, but I sent her Sittin' Pretty by Florida Georgia Line. We got all damn day to do it all way. And now she's a big Jon Pardi fan. Where's the harm done? So yeah, even though Brett's music might not be what us hardcore fans are dying to hear, if it's the starting point that leads more people to more better country music, I don't know what's wrong with that. Anyways, that is all I've got for you guys today. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on these hot takes down in the comments below. If you enjoyed, a like really does help my channel out. If you're new, maybe consider subscribing for some more country music content. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these hot takes videos. I know you guys normally like them. In the description, you can also find links to my Instagram, Discord, podcast, and Patreon if you'd like to check me out or support me on any of those. And yeah, until next time, I hope you guys have a great day.